is actually crazy.
What do you see? Hi everyone, it's Amy Cooper, and I'm here today at Connected Claims in Chicago, Illinois, getting ready to go check out the opening session. And we also have today here a couple colleagues and friends with me, which you'll get to meet, as well as a couple interviews lined up with different executives on their view on the future of the industry, as well as some really cool tech startups that we'll get to talk to and meet as well. So come check it out. You were just speaking here at the conference, and as you were talking about how technology has changed the industry and how it's even changed our world. So tell us what your thoughts are on how technology has changed the future of what the insurance industry looks like, and even what job opportunities look like.
Right. That's a very loaded question. I have to admit, if I would know how the world looks in 10 years' time, I would feel much happier. But what I clearly see is some of those trends, like what we see in data analytics, digitalization, automation. They will have a distinct impact. If I would take a best guess, I would think that tomorrow's jobs are not as clerically oriented in many parts as we have them today, but we are looking specifically for people who are able to manage change properly, who are analytical, who are able to deal with data and to extract trends and possibly decision points out of data.
Hey!
How are you?
Good. What do you got here?
Welcome to Tailspin.
Awesome.
We use XR, or virtual reality, for training solutions and field tool solutions in the insurance business.
Wow, this is awesome.
So what you're looking at right now is an example of a water claims investigation simulation.
It looks like a video game.
Amy, guys, this is actually crazy.
What do you see? Tell us.
So I can tell you what Chelsea's doing right now is a tutorial that is showing her.
I'm trying to open this cabinet. I can't.
Showing her how to.
Your middle finger. Middle finger.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, there it is. It opened. I found water, guys.
You want to take that, Jeff?
I will take that. Insurance is something that just kind of happens to people.
So with insurance becoming a little bit more tech-driven, you can obviously say that we need millennials to enter into this career path. What would you say to millennials, or even younger than millennials, an advantage for them would be to enter into this space?
I would honestly, I'd just be very open to solving problems in ways that don't necessarily fit the industry that you're coming into. You know, bringing outside perspective that just comes naturally to someone who's growing up in a digital household, a connected home, things like that. They're going to be immersed users of this tech, and so they'll be the ones coming in telling us what we're missing. And so that's really the benefit of bringing in a fresh perspective, is you're not stuck looking at things within that same framework that you've been used to over time.
So I've seen stats of between 50 and 60% of the insurance workforce, especially the adjusting workforce, is going to retire in the next 3 years. So there is going to be a huge void, and we already are starting to see that and experience that, and it becomes even more paramount for us to create systems that can onboard people quickly and really let them do the things that they do best, and instead of having to do all of that administrative type work. So for people that are entering the workforce now, I think just understanding what that opportunity is within the industry, because there's going to be a whole lot of space created over the next 2 to 3 years.
And a lot of growth opportunities.
Absolutely.
All right, we're here with Darren McCarthy from Hippo Insurance, and so tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm the head of claims with Hippo Insurance. I've been with Hippo for about 9 months now, and we're based out of Austin, Texas.
Okay. And you're speaking at the conference, right?
I am, yes. I'll be speaking about leveraging technology and as it applies to customer service, and kind of what Hippo is doing in that space.
Okay. And you also are in charge of some hiring at your company, correct?
Oh, yes, yes,
so
absolutely.
What do you look for in a new hire?
I think primarily what we look for is people who have a very strong grasp of customer service, people who understand what our business model is, that the most important thing that we can do for customers is be attentive to them, treat them with respect, and really be there to take care of them. That's kind of the Hippo way of handling claims.
Have you ever been to this conference before?
No, this is my first time to this conference. I go to several throughout the country, but this is my first time.
Anything you're looking to get out of this conference?
Oh yes, absolutely. Just seeing the different vendors that are here. Of course, meeting old friends that I've been acquainted with over the years, and getting to know new people and just the new technologies that are out there.
Fantastic.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing you speak.
Great. Thank you very much.
for being with us.
All right.
I feel like a deer caught in the head of me.
And I'm here interviewing Lori, who's with the Auto Club. She's a claims director. So thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about how did you get into insurance?
Well, I had the pleasure of being the president of my business fraternity in college, and I was able to meet the regional vice president at the time I was going to school in Macon, Georgia, and he was our sponsor. And one day in class, my dean commented to us that Geico was hiring. So I went and applied, and I got the first job that I applied for before I graduated college. And so literally I just fell into the insurance industry, and it's been a great 20-plus year career. And my company helped pay for my education. They paid for my MBA. So I saw a real opportunity the more I grew with my company. So I'm really excited to attract new professionals to our industry. It's a very stable industry with a lot of growth opportunities, whether it be in the operation, whether it be in marketing, IT, HR, automation. So we have a lot of different breadth of opportunities in our industry.
How do you think technology is changing what you hire for or what the industry looks like?
We're looking to disrupt our operation and not rely on norms and old processes. So I love the aspect of hiring new talent that doesn't have a litmus for what is insurance, what should a claim look like, what should a quoting process look like, because they really help you see the forest for the trees, so to speak. So I love that new talent can come in and really help unbundle for you what you might not be seeing in the customer experience and the user experience. So whether you're a millennial, whether you're a baby boomer, you can both appreciate perspectives and really gain from new talent. And that's what I think from a technology perspective, we're disrupting all of our processes where we want to look at the customer service experience. How can we make that better? What's going to make us relevant? And what's going to make a customer have an experience that says, I never want to leave this company. And I want to make those same experiences for employees. What's going to make you say, I never want to leave this company? It's such a great experience.
And I was talking to Jeff about just some of the things that he looks for in hiring young professionals and hiring talent at Allstate. So if you can let our RISE members know a little bit about what you look for.
Things I like to look for is people who are open-minded, people who are very curious, people who are willing to take a challenge, who have a lot of initiative, who aren't afraid to just go out and figure things out on their own, admit when they don't know things, come back and ask questions and sort of work in that manner.
Any advice you would give to young professionals interested in getting into the insurance industry?
I would say it's probably a lot more interesting and innovative than you might think.
Okay.
The whole nature of ride shares and driverless cars and robotics is going to change how insurance works, and it's going to change how the industry addresses that, and it's going to look so different that the level of change is going to make it far more exciting than you could even imagine. This old boring stodgy your dad's insurance company, that stuff is going to be gone very soon.
Well, thank you so much. Rise really appreciates it, and hopefully we can get some more young professionals to join the industry.
Sure, it's nice talking to you.
Yeah, you as well.
CEO of Halo, and we're going to talk with her today about the insurance industry and young professionals and her story a little bit too. So, tell us how did you get into insurance?
So I, right out of college, after I graduated, was looking for a job and was combing through the newspaper, and one of the larger carriers had an ad available, and got the interview. They were paying the most, and out of college, that was really my driving force. I was also going to law school, so it was just meant to supplement and help me with my education, and that was 27 years ago.
Okay. And so what would you say for a young professional today is a benefit of getting into the insurance industry, or why do you love it?
So I'm on the claims side of the industry, and I know that lots of folks are wondering, how do we get people right out of college? How do we compete with the Googles and make it exciting? What I say to young people who are looking for a career choice is an insurance company is a fantastic place to start, because even if you go into claims, you can learn every aspect about business. So you can go through underwriting. If you're in accounting, you can start out as a claims person because you have no experience, get the job, and then move into the accounting. You can actually grow a career with a company and learn different facets and different jobs, and that's not always true for every industry.
And so you do some hiring, or you have over the years. Tell us about what are you looking for now in a new hire?
Coachability. I think that's the number one thing. When you look through a sea of resumes, lots of people have, master's degrees and are highly educated, but when you don't have the experience, you have to be open and coachable. And I think that makes a better employee, but it also makes a better team member, because if you're willing to be coached, you also learn from your team members.
So we're here at Connected Claims Conference. This is Amy Cooper with Rising Insurance Star Executives, and I'm here today interviewing.
I'm Stephanie Banky, and I'm with Hanover Insurance.
And so, is this your first time at the conference?
It's not. It's actually my second time.
Okay. And you're speaking, right?
I am. So later, tomorrow, actually, I'm doing a presentation on how to create a 4-year technology roadmap for organizations.
Awesome. And so tell us about how you got into insurance. How did you get started?
So kind of an odd story. I was actually a diesel mechanic in the Army, and I got out of the Army on a Friday, and on a Monday I started in the insurance industry as a file clerk, of all things.
That's a big change.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the things I tell people about the insurance industry is, if you can just get your foot in the door, there are a ton of opportunities. So I started in underwriting and ultimately went into technology, and then into marketing, and then into product, and now I'm in claims. I've done innovation. So just a lot of opportunities within one industry.
So other than the wide variety of opportunities, what else do you love about the insurance industry, or what could you tell our young professionals group about what's great about it?
So one of the things that I love is that it's always a new day. So with technology emerging and constantly changing, it's never the same day twice, and so you're constantly learning something new, and you have to be adaptive and open-minded, and so the job is never quite the same.
Keeps it interesting, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And in your role, you do a lot of hiring, so can you tell us about what you're looking for when you're hiring?
Yeah, it's changing, right? The world is changing, and so what we're looking for in employees is changing. And so one of the things, I was teasing you actually earlier, one of the things that we look for is a team mindset. And as cliche as that sounds, it really is true that if your team progresses, if your company progresses, you as an individual will automatically shine. And so getting the job done is really important. Innovation, we talk about innovation, and again, another cliche term possibly, but the reality is staying open-minded and always being open to the next thing, because you don't ever want to be static in the industry.
It's really important right now in claims, with all the transformation going on, that we have innovative thinking, right? As a claim professional, I'm really a true believer that our roles in claims, we're really service, right? Yeah. We're here to put people back together, help put lives back together. A lot of us in the claim industry chose the industry because of being heroes and solution-oriented, things like that. Over the course of many years, claim professionals have been, unfortunately, painted with a different brush. And it's challenging, right? It's a challenging environment. What I'm looking for as I grow our company, and our company's growing, is people who are innovative, who can think for themselves, who enjoy solving problems and can bring forward their ideas. I think that's really important right now in the industry, especially with experiences people 30 and younger have had in technology. They can bring that to the solutions for carriers.
Hi everyone, it's Amy Cooper with Rise, and it's day 2 at Connected Claims here in Chicago. Yesterday was an amazing conference. There was a ton of things we learned. We talked about how technology and development is creating a win-win for both customers and companies. We learned about how insurance companies are integrating the agile development method into their innovation. We talked about how empathy still plays a huge role and what the human impact still is needed for the claims process. And today we're really excited to get into some of the workshops, and we also have a panel coming up at the end talking about how they're going to deconstruct technology and culture and how that is going to create the future of what claims looks like. So come check it out. It's day 2 at Connected Claims. I'm Amy Cooper with Rise, and I'm here today to interview David McNutt, who's the Chief Claims Officer at American Modern Insurance Group. So thanks for joining us.
Of course, thank you.
So when you got into the insurance industry, I'm sure it looked different than it does today. Can you tell us about that?
Oh my, almost all aspects have changed. I joined, my first 3 years were with Safeco Insurance Company, and I learned an awful lot there, and then I've been 30 years with American Modern. And when I joined Safeco, they had just started a claims system, and it was the screens with the green letters. It was also a change because back then it was required to have hair off your ear and white shirts only, matching suit and tie. And you had to have your coat on if you were going to leave your workstation. So just a few things have changed since then.
And what are some tools that either you would recommend for someone to seek out or that you've used in your career path that would help somebody as they're progressing their career?
You know, I think that networking, not necessarily a tool, but networking, you know, have a lunch with somebody that works in another department, because folks in claims will move around. Keep a open communication with them so that they're learning that job. But tools, the internet is so filled with information that if you want to learn what an underwriter does, or you want to learn about claims technologies, you know, it's out there for you. I think a tool is similar to this convention, right, this conference. I attend many, and I bring my folks to an awful lot of them because then they learn that it's a much bigger world than just in their own company, and that everybody's trying to find different ways to please the customer, or, you know, the video technologies and those kinds of things. So it's easy to get siloed, right?
We're going to walk into this session.
That's a lot of
And then there's an app for it too, or?
Well, Fundability is new, so it takes about 5.
A
software engineer with LifeRay. Starting out, how I actually got my job at LifeRay, I was a student studying at Miami University for software engineering, surprise, but I was actually working at the time as a barista in a coffee shop on the first floor of the building where the LifeRay office was. One day I was wearing a Miami University t-shirt. I was serving a coffee to someone who came up. He was ordering a large, just regular latte, and he asked me what I was studying at Miami University. And to his surprise, I actually told him about some of my capstones I was doing there. I told him about some of the different things I was doing as a software engineer in school. And he said, you know, this is pretty fortuitous. You might actually have an opportunity to interview or have an internship with us. And so I was deciding, do I want to take this job with this company I'd never heard about before? Do I want to work with LifeRay here in my hometown of Hamilton, Ohio, while I was still getting cold calls from Amazon, from Google, from these different companies? I was one of the leading students in my class, and I decided I wanted to stay in the small town of Hamilton, Ohio. I had a lot invested in there in my family. I knew that from that area there was a lot of brain drain, and this company sounded really interesting. It sounded really neat to be part of some open source field, to learn about a digital experience platform, something I'd never heard of before. And from that opportunity, now as a sales engineer, I've learned how to work with different insurance companies. I've learned to work with different banks, with different healthcare fields. I've learned about so many different industries, so many different use cases that I never thought I would ever before. And now I get the opportunity to teach professionals, CIOs and CTOs about what's possible to take their business that they're working with today, insurance, which, as you may or may not know, can be very slow in adopting new technologies, can be very slow in moving to more agile methods, helping them understand how to actually take their business and accelerate it through the use of a platform, to be able to now provide omni-channel and personalized experiences to their policyholders, to their brokers, to their agents, how to really differentiate their business. And that would have never happened if I didn't serve that coffee. So take chances, work in what you're doing today. You know, it might not fall into your lap as it did with me, but continue to work hard and just take the opportunities that present themselves.
Hi, my name is Ahmed Zifsaf. I lead our marketing and partnership work here at Tractable. Hi, I'm Cyrus. I'm a business analyst. So here at Tractable, what we specialize in is AI for accident disaster recovery. And what this really means is that our mission is to get people back on the road faster, whether you're in a car accident or a tornado or a hurricane. We're here to use AI computer vision algorithms to help people get back on the road. So what we're here going to show you today.
So enabling this technology, right? Really important to make sure that you've got a proper risk and security architecture in place. And finally, there's been rapid growth in.
Hi everyone, it's Katerina Garavito, and I'm here at the Connected Claims Conference in Chicago, and I'm here with Brian Falchuk from Hi Marley. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
So Brian, we first met when you were running claims at Hiscox, and now that you're at Hi Marley, can you explain to me a little bit what your role is like here?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I was a customer of Hi Marley's when I was in claims at Hiscox, and I got to see firsthand what the solution was like and the impact it had. And so when I decided to leave Hiscox, it was kind of a natural fit to come to Hi Marley, and I'm the head of customer, whatever that means. It kind of makes sense. I used to be a customer, so I'm responsible for all of our customer-facing efforts, helping carriers get up and running and get the most out of the system and be successful.
So the culture at Hi Marley is a little bit more upbeat and tech savvy. So with that being incorporated into the insurance space, do you think that that will attract more young professionals into the industry?
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting time with insurtech, where I was lucky. I got to work at a carrier that was very forward-thinking and open, but that's not the perception of insurance as a whole. But insurtech is just totally blossoming, and I think that gives people this sense that insurance is a great space to move into. Maybe it's the tech side of it, but there's, events like this, there's so much activity and so many different kinds of ways to get involved in the insurance space as a whole, beyond what people might have in their mind as a traditional path.
Connected Claims, this is Amy Cooper with Rise, and I'm here to interview Jackie Hansen, who's with American families. So tell us, how did you get started in insurance?
It actually was a somewhat of a fluke through college, and I interviewed on campus with American Family along with some other items, and it just seemed like a good company. I was actually at the time looking for an ethical company, and they seemed to fit the bill, as opposed to be honest, some of the other ones I interviewed with. So, and it intrigued me. My background, my degree was going to be in finance, and it seemed like a good fit, and I had taken some insurance classes.
So what do you do now for them?
I'm the national product manager for our commercial claims area.
Wonderful. And so do you think that you use your finance degree in that, or how did that translate over?
I to some degree, some of the classes, but to be honest, when I went back after I'd worked for about 5 years, I went back for my MBA. Okay. And I feel like I used that more than actually, and I did that in management, and got a management job actually while I was working on my MBA, but it actually worked. I used that more, and I got more out of that degree, honestly, because I'd worked a little bit and could apply it a little bit more.
So what do you look for now when you're hiring for your team?
Probably the biggest thing I look for is initiative, more than anything. And I will say in insurance, sometimes there's a stereotype, you have to put in your time, that, you have to work so many years before you can move to this level. That's somewhat changing, but I'd much rather have someone that has initiative and enthusiasm and a positive attitude, and as long as I have a little experience, I'm good. So I can build the rest of it.
Awesome. So now with the way that technology is coming in, and I'm sure you see a lot at this conference that technology is changing, how do you see technology playing a role in what you're looking for or what roles you have open and how you interact with your employees?
I actually oversee our technology for our division. So that's part of my role, is looking for new technology and innovation, hence why I'm here at the conference, and looking for what can make our adjusters' lives better. So basically that's what my role there is, how can I make the adjusters' lives better and easier and our customers more satisfied. So it has a huge impact of people that are willing to try things and look for things and are comfortable with change, because that is constant, and with exploring new things and trying new things and failing, honestly, and trying it and okay, that didn't work, let's try something new.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
It's great being here. Thank you, Chelsea.
So I wanted to ask some questions that I think our members of RISE would really appreciate. One of the things that we discussed is how technology has really changed the industry in insurance, and how it's allowing more young professionals to be excited about the industry, as well as giving different and new jobs. So my question to you really is, what have you seen from a technology standpoint that has helped with the insurance industry in recruiting and bringing in new talent?
Bringing in new talent to the insurance industry has always been a challenge. I've been in the industry for 38 years. In 38 years, we've always thought about how we can get some fresh blood, right? And it's hard because the insurance industry is so hated. Right? The Urban Dictionary defines insurance as a business made up of promises to people to pay later, which promises are never fulfilled. So if you're a young professional, why would you go to an industry that's hated so much? And so the challenge was historically trying to find something they liked. So if they liked math, you talk about actuarial. If they liked people, you would say insurance is a people business. You'll play golf, you'll go to dinners, you'll go to lunches. If they liked sales, you would say you're a deal maker. This is deals. You got to find out, how to calculate the right premium and get the insured to say yes. But all that changed 3 years ago.
Okay.
So 3 years ago, with the creation of insurtech and companies like Lemonade, suddenly insurance got cool, at least to me.
Yeah.
And so if you look at a company like Lemonade, didn't exist 3 years ago, started doing business in September 2016, and now has a post-money valuation of $2.3 billion. Wow. Right? So what new company didn't exist could go from 0 to $2.3 billion in 3 years in insurance, never before? That's insurtech. Wow. And so today, if you are a young person, instead of going to Google and Amazon, you can really, for the first time, talk about insurance, and that's what's so exciting about the particular conference we're in, which deals with how technology is changing insurance.